There's my boy Virgil. He wants to ask y'all to do something.
Press the subscribe button and the notifications bell right below this video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Please subscribe, like, and share. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you don't mind, subscribe, like, and share. Yeah, I'm having my coffee again this morning. Let's talk a little bit about lifestyles in the Philippines. Now, I've lived in several places since I've been here, so I can relate to city life, and I can relate to living here in the jungle. Now, everybody is different. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. Living in the city does have its advantages. In most cases, you got better medical facilities available. You can get to them quicker in some cases. And in most cities, the areas have what they call gated communities, subdivisions, so forth, and gives you that sense of security. That's probably what some people like. Personally, when I was living in a subdivision, I felt like I was in a prison camp. I'd check in with the guards and check out, So, I know that's a weird way of looking at it, but that's the way I felt. It wasn't bad, I really wasn't, but, that's just the way I interpret it. Grace and I, we enjoyed life while we living in those areas. In the shopping experience, we had access to malls, especially after we bought the motorcycle. We just hop on the bike and there's a mall everywhere. It was convenient. But still, there was a lot of things that I desired and just couldn't find. I was living in Cebu, I don't remember if it's a year after or something like that. I run across a small roll of banana, and I bought it and never seen it again. And we're talking about a roll about the length of a hot dog wiener, and probably it was only about 3 inches. It was about like this, about the length of a hot dog wiener. And it was actually a decent bologna. It wasn't fantastic or anything like that. And I've not had no bologna since. And bologna's not bad, especially, pan fry that thing and kind of scorch it and throw a little mustard and onion on it. It's pretty good. I miss that. And now, living here in the jungle, or in a province, as some would say, it's a little inconvenient about getting to the hospital. Even at my best driving skills, getting to a reasonable hospital take me a good 30, 35 minutes, maybe 40. Ambulance service here at my house, I seriously doubt it. Might be possible, but I doubt it. Access to malls. We got 2 small malls in the little town we do our banking and so forth, and they don't offer a lot. I'll just be honest with you. We got a Grand Sano and a City Mall. The City Mall there, they don't even have a grocery right now. And I miss the grocery it used to have. Because it has quite a few things I enjoyed buying. And I could actually, from time to time, find a decent cut of beef there. About once every 3 months you can find it. Now, I can't elaborate on nightlife in the city because that's something I never got in the habit of. Grace and I, we did go out a few times and enjoyed ourselves. But as far as making a habit of it, I think you can count on one hand how often we went out in my almost 13 years here. So it tells you about my nightlife. Now, if you enjoy the nightlife, the city's a fine place to be. But I recommend you acquire a few good friends and don't do that alone. Because, nightlife also brings out other people too. So that's my advice on that. You need to make yourself aware of your surroundings and so forth, if that's what you enjoy. The city does offer, like I said, a lot of shopping conveniences and so forth. And, you're closer to, in my case at that time, airport was handy. And it was kind of like a central hub. You get out and do things. Of course, here, it's about the same. I can get out and do things here, too. As far as sightseeing and exploring. But the biggest difference is probably is actually housing. You can live in a subdivision and you can feel secure, or you can live in a condo. Now that's something I never had a desire for. There's some people that really enjoy condo life, and I understand this. Some of the condos, they offer gyms and so forth, and a lot of conveniences, and usually they're within walking distance of what you need. But as far as a condo goes, per square foot, I just don't see the expense. Of course, there's people who like to have ownership. And that's one way a foreigner can own something. But then, if you live in a condo, you got monthly dues. Just like with subdivisions, that's something I forgot to mention. There's monthly dues there too. The two subdivisions that we actually lived in, the dues were really cheap. The first one, if I remember how much the dues was, I think it was 500 pesos, if I remember correctly. About $10. Now we moved to another one, and it wasn't as much. It was $3.50, which is about $7. Then when we moved to Negroes, we actually lived in a small subdivision, and it was $150 a month, and it was only $3. So it would vary, I'm sure, with a lot of places, but you will have monthly dues. Now, condos, my understanding is the utilities are more expensive as far as. I've never lived in one, so I can guarantee I'm telling you the facts on it. But again, you're going to be limited on space. The cost of a condo on square footage, and then to me, being in a box. And another thing too, that kind of turns me away is, the building codes in the Philippines is not as strict as other parts of the world. I just don't feel comfortable with the idea of being in a condo. Of course, everybody's got their own preference. Like I said, there's some people who enjoy it. Well, I've seen several people that's on YouTube. They really enjoy their condo life. Which, that's okay. But the Philippines, the good thing about it is it offers such a broad spectrum of living in a climate that you don't have to worry about snow and ice and so forth. And you know, you can get actually get too relaxed. I tell you that. I have trouble keeping up with the days of the week. Often I have to look at my phone to see what day of the week it is. That's how relaxed I get. And the date, I have trouble with that too. But you know, like I said, living here in the Province, shopping is probably the biggest issue. Now, I've overcome that. Over the years, Lazada is similar to Amazon in the States, around the world. They have broadened their suppliers, and you can get just about anything you want. And in most cases, it's affordable. In some cases, it's cheaper than what you can buy local. I've done that on a number of occasions. You know, I get my oil change for my little van for a third what it cost me local. I just keep an oil change on hand. When I do the oil change, I order another one. That way I've got one on hand. So I use fully synthetic oil, and I can buy oil and filter, full synthetic. In most cases, between $20 to $25. It'll vary from each time I order. They'll offer promos and so forth. Where if I go local, it's $60 plus. Do the math. Why not? As y'all aware of, I actually end up getting coffee there. So shopping has changed for me here personally, and I don't have to drive out to do it. And I have it delivered. Where if I lived in the city and went out and done all this, I'd have to go to the mall, and I'd have to park, and so forth. And of course, that's a nice experience being able to do that. And then you get, you do the window shopping thing, and usually you overspend. And my wife, she orders a few things from Lazada also. She has experience. She's actually gotten better quality clothes than she could buy at the local mall that we got here. And especially in shoes, she gets a better quality of what she can purchase. And it's items that she likes more than what she can see. She's been very rare she gets an order that she's disappointed with. And the good thing about Lazada, if you want to, you can actually send it back. They give you, in most cases, 7 days. Some items there you can get a longer period of time to send an item back. Can't complain about that. You're not taking anything back here locally. Once you buy it, that's it. But that's the way it is, and kind of let people know that hasn't been here some of the things that's available and what you can do. There's not our travel habits between living in the city and here in the province hasn't changed much. From time to time, we will take a little mini vacation, and Grace has got really good and nice places that are affordable. We got one place that we go once a year for our anniversary. We've been doing that, I think, the last 3 or 4 years. It's in Domageti. It's a beach resort, and it's about $40 or 2,000 pesos for a night. And usually we go and spend about 3 or 4 days. And it's a very nice place, white sand beach, and they got a swimming pool and their restaurant. The food is fantastic. So, and little things like that. We get out from time to time, and we can get out and explore here like we did when we lived in the city. And of course, the difference is we don't have to fight the traffic to get out of the city. That's another issue too. Now, the biggest advantage about living out of the city is air quality. I've got a fan sitting here that I bought over a year ago. It's a Westinghouse 20-inch fan. And it was last month, I think it was, when I cleaned it. And you'd be amazed how little it had accumulated. Our air conditioner filter about once every 6 months. And I've got wall fans, and I've got some that been 2 years since I've cleaned them. The biggest thing I've seen difference in those items is when we lived in the city, they would get this black scum on them, and it was difficult to clean. And you had to clean them. I lived in one place, and you had to clean them basically within 1 or 2 weeks. You definitely clean the air conditioner filter every week, and it would be gummed up. I mean, terrible. It was terrible. And I know why. It's from the diesel. If you're from all if you live anywhere close to the highway, you're gonna get the black tags because of the diesel. I've not experienced that here anymore. Even our house rates only hits the dust once a week, and it's not really very little. Where before it was a daily thing. As some of the things you'll find different living in the city and out in Providence. Air quality is a big issue. I just didn't realize how dirty it was until I moved here. I thought it was like that everywhere. But anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoyed my rattle. And I really appreciate everyone and all my new subscribers and previous subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Yeah. It means a lot to me that people take interest and actually subscribe. Yeah. Hopefully everybody does well, and stay tuned, and I'll get some more out there for you. So thanks again.